Yo, what's up, everybody? How you doing? This is your coach Renz, and guess what? I ain't got nothing to talk about. Just playing. There's always something to talk about, but I just finished shooting a video that'll be uploaded later on today. I'm gonna upload some more videos to my Patreon today, both my Patreon for Coach Renz. We're gonna continue to talk about outwitting the devil. We've been off that subject for a little bit because I've been opening up Uncle Ren's Popcorn, been opening the store. But then we're also I'm gonna shoot a tantric video. I'm gonna shoot a tantric video a little bit later on today as well. So for my patrons in Tantra in my tantric page, I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna shoot a video for you guys today, and I'm gonna start shooting a lot of my videos. Hey, how you doing, Nikki? Hey, when you come in, say hello. How you doing? This is just a Q&A. We can talk about anything. We can talk about your spiritual development. We can talk about finances. We can talk about money. We can talk about relationships. I haven't done a relationship video in a while, so I'm gonna need to do one of those today too. Um, we can talk about spirituality. We can talk about historical. We can talk about politics, even though I don't watch news or TV that much. But we can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about for the next like hour or so that I'm gonna be here, and then I'm gonna get to work because I got work to do, right? Um, so hey, let's have a conversation. I see some of my people's coming on. And you guys know tonight I'm going to be on with Kevin Wesley. Guys, you got to check that out. That's going to be good tonight. We're going to rebut this video that this guy made about him a year ago. So that's going to be good. It's really, I don't even have to do any research for this one. And I think Kevin doesn't either, really. So we're going to do that tonight. If you're in Atlanta next weekend, just come to Atlanta. Come to me and Kevin's event. There's still a few tickets left. We had a surge of purchases of tickets over the weekend, so there's a few tickets left for that event of the meeting of the minds here in Atlanta next weekend. I'm going to be talking about chakras and how to get your heart mind meditation, how you get your heart mind connection through meditation, so you can manifest what it is that you want in your life. Is what my subject matter is going to be about. Um, so, but then we're going to do a Q&A after that. But this is a Q&A for right now. Now, I know y'all got some questions. But if you don't, I'm going to start making up stuff. I'll make up questions. I'll be like, oh, yeah, such and such just said, but they really say anything. I'm just making up questions. Uh, just taking a few little bit of time. Had a good workout this morning. Really good workout. The gym was hot. I don't know if the AC was off, but it was hot in there. But maybe it's because it's like 90-something degrees here in Georgia. But just you got that sweat pouring workout. That was awesome. That was awesome. So Love had a great workout today. Experimenting with a meal today. Gonna make some teriyaki vegetables. It ain't really experiment. I'm just making some teriyaki vegetable, but I didn't see the lo mein noodles that I wanted, so I'm using spaghetti noodles. So I hope the spaghetti noodles work out well with this teriyaki stir fry that I'm gonna do in a little bit. We'll see. How you doing, Tia? How you doing, Felicia? How you guys doing? So we're gonna see how that experiment on this food works out later on today. Um, and we can talk about that. We can talk about health and nutrition. Guys, I used to be a personal trainer. I used to own one gym and 3 personal training studios. Uh, Anything you guys want to talk about for the next hour or so is what I'm here for. Getting myself revved up. Because tonight, me and Kevin going to go in. And then I got 3 other videos I'm going to shoot today that I will be uploading later on. 2 of them being Patreon, that sort of thing. Really, Pat? Do turkeys have knees? That is insanely crazy. That is insane. You know what? If y'all don't, I'm gonna start talking about something that I was researching. I was studying about the Anunnaki and Enlil and Enki earlier this morning. I just woke up, right, and there was a bunch of stuff about Enlil and Enki that was just on my brain, and it was so fortuitous because Kevin calls me. Yeah, I know why it happened because the night before last night, Kevin, we was talking and he was talking about serpents. And since we was talking about serpents, and when I woke up this morning, all this stuff about Enlil and Enki was on my brain. And then I went back through some of my old research about those 2 guys. Um, what are your thoughts on suicide and the response of the universe? Yes, that is a good question. Okay. First, it's a good one because I know people were. I personally, I was in awe It was, well, not in awe, because in awe is actually, we use that word wrong. Um, I was concerned when Mr. Bourdain killed himself, committed suicide. And then I hear that there was some other famous person, K somebody, who killed themselves previous. So, suicide. We want to put this on a mental health issue. My thing about suicide is that people haven't figured out how to make themselves happy. That's really what it is. Now, we're telling people all the time that you have ADD, you have this DD, and five, you have HBA, whatever. They make up all these diseases, so many acronyms. But we tell people all the time, you have this. And there's even people walking around who are saying that everybody has some kind of mental disturbance. But I think we do have a mental disturbance called don't know how to make yourself happy, unwilling to step away from society and allow yourself to be happy, unwilling to step away from your own negative thoughts to make yourself happy. I know that the Satanic Church has taken on the moniker that, and I know Aleister Crowley was called the evilest man in America. Um, Thank you, Pat. But do what thou wilt. It's not a meaning of hurt, injure someone else at the expense of, in order for you to be happy. But do what thou wilt means do what's truly in your nature that will make you happy. If you saw my Know Thyself video, that's what I was talking about in there. If people started focusing on, hey, I like underwater basket weaving, that makes me happy. But what does society say about that? You know what? Let's not even use something fake like that. Something crazy like that. Let's use, sex is always a big issue with most people. So let's say there was a form of sex. Let's say you like bondage, right? Most of society is going to shun you for it. And if you really like it, if that's what makes you happy, and because you're happy by doing that, you're able to function in your day better, you should do it. But because society has a stigmatism placed on it, people don't do it. So whatever is making us sad is harming us, is hurting us. That is truly, to me, sin. Actually, in this book, Richest Man in Babylon, Outwitting the Devil, Napoleon Hill talks about, when his conversation with the devil, how sin is when you do things that is not making you happy, that is against your basic nature of who you are. So as people like this commit suicide, they're committing this suicide because they can't find a place in society. They want to be happy, but they can't find their place in society because what society has told you is going to make you happy is not working. This guy Bourdain gets to travel around the world, eats all kind of exotic food. I'm not eating half the stuff he ate, but eat all this food. Most people will say he's rich, he's traveling, he's meeting his job is to eat. He should be happy, right? Oh my gosh. He should be happy. She said, see now, I have a friend who's sexually attracted to hamsters and not people. I remember back in the day there was this. Let me come back to that one. I come back to that. But this guy, so we would think that that he should have been happy, right? Because we're looking at our current situation. Thank you, Rolling Thunder. You know what? That's twice. I appreciate you, man. But most people think that this guy, we're supposed to be happy about that. Thank you for the donation. Oh, and by the way, since we're going to be starting the Temple of Learning, pretty much every donation that I get now is going to go towards the Temple of Learning. But we would think he should be happy, but then he wasn't happy. I personally was like emotionally distraught when Robin Williams died. Such an amazing entertainer, but he was so depressed. And we've often heard that comedians are often depressed in their personal life. It's that search for happiness that we need. We have to find that search for happiness and then a search of belonging. What we need certainty in our life and certainty of happiness. So I say that if you're doing something, if it doesn't hurt, and this is back to Pat's thing, if it doesn't hurt another living being, living creature, then pursue what makes you happy. Because I think the universe's response is the fact that you're not pursuing what makes you happy. So the universe's response, because of cause and effect, because of vibration and rhythm, is going to give you more of what makes you unhappy. And it's going to push you and push you and push you and push you. And some people get pushed to that point where they just rather just leave this existence. Now, because I personally believe that hell is created by yourself, that the negative portions of your brain is going to create your, that if you have the negative portion of your brain is more powerful than the positive portion of your brain is going to create your next existence, then I believe you create wherever you go. If you think you deserve hell, you deserve misery, you deserve all these things, then to me, your next conscious existence is going to be a place like that. Thank you, Nubian Lioness. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to do a live soon about the Temple of Learning and how what will qualify people to be heads of temples of learning in their own areas. This first one here in Atlanta is going to get started with me and Kevin soon. Hey, Linda, how you doing? Okay, now I'm not believing you, Pat, that you left your hamsters with you when you went on vacation. The only reason I was like, but so do whatever makes you happy, and the universe will. If you're doing what makes you happy, the universe is going to give you more of it because you're cause and effect. Cause and effect says that whatever you do, you're going to vibrate at that level, and it's going to give you the effects of what you do. So if this guy, he's traveling, he's got money, he's doing all these things, but his true consciousness is vibrating at a state where it's keeping him focused on that misery, focused on what's sad in his life, what's not going well in his life, and he's going to get more of that. Even though we don't see it, we don't know what it is, he's getting more and more of it. There's so many people who are successful financially, but their home lives are a wreck. And so all they do is put more time to finances, or they put more time to drugs, or they put more time into whatever is more destructive or an escape in their life. And they never get that happiness. And then they just, they off themselves. I love WWE. Well, I used to love wrestling, but so many of the wrestlers from back in the day when I used to watch it, their after work, their lives were horrible while they was wrestling. They were alcoholics. They was addicted to drugs. We know the ones who committed suicide or killed their family. There's so many things like that because their lives wasn't really happy. So pursue what makes you happy. Find out what makes you happy, and as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else. Now, Pat, two of them seemed to like him. The other one was fearful. And he could have just been torturing the hamsters. But if a person, I remember when I was about 18 years old, was the first time I heard this. I was about 18. I'm 46 right now. And there was this thing about gerbing that was going on where people were, how you doing? Shortest sweet. How you doing, shortest sweet? These guys were taking tubes, putting it in their butt, and then they'll push a gerbil down there and then get the gerbil in their butt, and the gerbil's trying to scratch out and all that kind of stuff, and they would get joy out of that. Now, to me, that's not something I would ever do. It's not something that interests me. But I would shun that because you're harming another living being, right? So when your desires harms another living being, that's when I draw the line. So if, and I know this is going to sound crazy and get mad at me, if somebody want to take a carrot and stick a carrot up their butt, they want to put a cucumber up their butt, a hot red poker up their butt, if you want to do that, that's fine. You're only harming yourself, or you're only doing that to yourself. You're not harming a gerbil or a hamster. So if somebody's attracted to a hamster, yeah, they need to have a little conversation. They need to find out what's going on, what's caused it, what's the root cause. Because like I said, everything there is cause and effect. There's always cause and effect for everything. But as far as the universal response, when you commit suicide, if you're going in, I recently rewatched the movie, What Dreams May Come. I was, one of the things I love about the popcorn business is when I'm making product, it's autonomic for me. I don't even, I can watch a movie while I'm doing it and I do everything right. I do everything the way it's supposed to be done. So me and Lady Shay was having this conversation about the movie, What Dreams May Come. It turns out both of us love that movie. When Robin Williams' wife died, she committed suicide. Because she could not forgive herself, she was trapped in this limbo hell kind of place. And the only thing that only reason she couldn't leave is because she couldn't recognize the ability to forgive herself. This is the same message that they do in the show Lucifer, that hell has many rooms and you are creating your own hell loops. The only reason you can't escape is because of your own guilt, because the doors of hell are never locked. That's what was in that movie, What Dreams May Come. Now, Robin Williams created his own heaven, but it wasn't complete because he didn't have his wife with him. So, and he couldn't see his son until it was time to see his son. Couldn't see his daughter until it was time to see his daughter. So all those things couldn't come into play until he can, even in heaven, he had to realize his fullness. So whatever, I love that movie because of how it depicts what I believe our conscious state will do when we leave here, which is why I believe it's so vital to get your consciousness into a state where the negative portions of your brain has absolutely no say over what you do. One of those ways is to ensure that you are doing what fulfills you, what gratifies you, what makes you happy, what gives you desire. And I know it's not going to make everybody else happy. Even some of the people you're around right now, you may have to depart from them. It's not what you want to do in life, but sometimes it's what you have to do in life, right? And if you do that, you should have a greater life. You'll have a greater life. You'll experience things in your life that is far greater than what you ever expected. When you're willing to step away from a situation that is negative in your life, that's bringing you nothing but discontent. So it's all right, Pat. Sorry to bring this up topic because it's gross. Yeah. Probably some people gonna be like, I'm not letting Coach Renz no more. He talking about nasty stuff. Pat says, oh, I'm sorry. Pat, because I do the pronoun thing, are you a guy or a woman? Because Pat is one of those dual names. And I just been saying, I think I've been saying feminine, she's and he's. But Pat says I'm going to say he now, he has a obsession with Latinas, which still could be a she. And that's no big deal to me. Not sure if it's healthy. Actually, it depends on, okay, Pat's a guy. Okay, that makes it easy. I just want to get the pronouns right. That's all. There's nothing wrong with having an obsession with Latinas. My uncle Edward, and he watches all my videos, so he's going to hear this. My uncle Edward came from Taiwan, or is Thailand. He came from, I know the woman he had, Tammy, was Thai. She was from Thailand. Woo! I was about 6, 7 years old. I was in love with that woman when he brought her. The moment she walked into my grandmother's house, I was like, man, I got to find me one of those. Unfortunately, in Marietta, Georgia back then, there were like no Taiwanese. Heck, we didn't even have many Asian. I went to high school with 3 Asian people. Like, we didn't have any. You go to Marietta High now, it's plenty. But I had this infatuation with Asian women, especially Thai women, for a very long time, because when I was a kid, my uncle showed up with this Thai woman. It's the first time I ever seen a Thai woman in my life. She was breakdown gorgeous, right? So, can you break down and have the diet plan? Yeah, I sure can. Oh, you lived in Marietta? I know, I lived in Marietta. But I really love Thai women. Now, I grew out of it because they just weren't around. But I honestly believe that if there was a huge Thai community in the Atlanta area or Marietta back then, I would probably have married a Thai woman simply because of that experience when my uncle brought her. And he kept bringing her for like 3 years. So, and she was so sweet. Such a nice, sweet. She was beautiful on the inside. Just as beautiful she was on the outside, she was just even more gorgeous on the inside. Yeah, I still feel a little some kind of way, so don't get mad at me. So having an obsession with Latinas, it's not a problem. If that's what you like, that's what you like. If whatever it is about them that attracts you, then that's fine. If it's their culture, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. I can't stand when people say you have to like this or have to like that. You can like whatever you like, right? Yeah, you finally caught me, Jim. So you like what you like. And as far as it being unhealthy, that's going to depend on what are you doing that you would deem it unhealthy. Now, the fact that you think it might be unhealthy may be something. I mean, if you're making poor financial decisions because of your obsession with Latinas, if you're making poor, physical decisions, then that, could be a problem. Yeah. Had to go to Beaver Highway, only Mexican dudes in Marietta. Yep, sure are. Let's see. So, whatever makes it healthy or unhealthy for you, as long as if that's what you like, that's what you like. Begging for change, appreciate it. That's going to the temple of learning. Yep, the only guy we need is each other, and I need you. I need you too, brother. I know you're gonna be with us tonight as well, in our conversations. So, All right, so we're gonna talk about, okay, BM ask, can you break down a healthy diet plan? You know, it's interesting that you asked me this question because even though, um, okay, as long as you don't discriminate against, I see, I don't discriminate against anybody. I don't care. You like what you like. Greetings, Riri. A healthy diet plan. I'm glad Kevin is not on here because it'll be vegan this and vegan that, and vegan. Now, let's start at that point. Is it healthier for your body to consume more raw fruits and vegetables, beans and legumes? Yes, you should eat more of that. Even when I was a trainer, and I had my gyms and my personal training studios, I always recommended that my clients eat more fruits and vegetables than they eat anything else. And then, you know, have a healthy portion of starches as well. I hate that everybody went into like the diets where you eliminate your starches. Your body needs starch. Starch is the primary energy source. Carbohydrates is your body's primary energy source. And if you think about it, the starches represents your long-term burning fuel. So that would be like the gas that you have in your car, whereas the fruits and vegetables represent short-term burning fuel. That's like the spark plugs, right? Or that, like, you know, that stuff you put in, like you put it in the octane booster. It's like an octane booster. So you want to have fruits and vegetables. Now, right now, I'm like 90% vegetarian. So I'm not vegan. I'll still have butter and the byproducts of an animal, but I won't eat the animal for the most part. Maybe once a week, maybe once every other week, I'll have like a burger or a steak or something like that, or some chicken, but very rarely. And has my body improved because of it? Yes. So what I would recommend is first find out what your calorie intake is needed in order to maintain your body. All right, in order to maintain it. If you need to lose weight, eat 500 calories less. If you need to gain weight, eat 500 calories more than whatever it is you need to maintain it. There's a formula that you can use. You can just look it up on Google because I don't even know where my information on that is with the formula. I used to cheat. I used to have the scale that would tell me how many calories it takes to maintain your body. Once you do that, then you'll know how many calories to eat. And then as far as your calorie intake, it's best to eat 5 times a day. But if you can only do two, if you can only do 3, then eat 3. But mostly fruits, vegetables, and starches, and minimize your meat intake. You want to minimize things like margarine. Margarine is actually horrible for you. I'd rather you have straight butter than margarine. All right, margarine is like a chemically created thing. Use straight butter if you're going to, but if you're vegan, of course you're not doing that. But that's basically, and at the end of the day, it comes down to don't eat more than what you burn, and then try to make it as natural as possible. If you are going to eat meat, then try to eat, like there's a pig farmer in West Virginia somewhere, and his pigs graze. They don't eat slop, they don't eat all that, they graze. So his pigs are probably healthier than this other person's cows because of these cows over here that are eating these soy and modified corn and all that kind of stuff. So his pigs are probably healthier than the cows. You know, it's always funny. A squirrel is just a furry rat that lives in the forest, but it's still a rat. But a squirrel meat is healthier than a rat because of what that rat eats. So yeah. If you eat meat, try to eat clean as meat you possibly can. I'm personally am moving away from no meat at all. And guess what? It's not hard. I'm not shrinking in like muscle definition. The only reason I've shrunk in any muscle definition is because I haven't been lifting weights. I lift weights this morning, but so that would be a healthy diet. Fruits, vegetables, starches. Eliminate as much meat as you can. Eat everything as pure as you possibly can. You know, that's it. That's it. And that's why, like later on, after I finish this, I'm going to make me some stir-fried vegetables with some. I couldn't find the Thai noodles, so I'll have some spaghetti noodles. I got some of those, and I'm gonna make that's it. Stir-fried vegetables with Thai noodles. Well, spaghetti noodles. It's still gonna be good. You know, seasoning makes a huge difference. Huge difference. Okay, so I hope that helped you. But you got to find out how many calories it takes to maintain your body. Yeah, and animals suffering. You know, some people will watch those videos of like What the Health and there was one about called Fast Food Inc. or something like that, and then there was the first one that turned me on that got me kind of focused was the Spurlacker guy's video. He ate McDonald's for like 30 days, but there was so much additional information in there. You're welcome. I forgot what it was called when he ate McDonald's for 30 days. But all that extra information, all that stuff in there, I couldn't. I stopped for like a month, but then I went back to my normal ways. I didn't even watch What's the Health, but yeah, supersize me exactly. Thanks, short and sweet. What got me really? I'm gonna tell you what really got me is I have been working tirelessly for the last 3 years in building Uncle Renz popcorn. The last 3 years, because I had to suffer through a bad lease. Right, 3 years. I got to do the work on my feet every day. My back started hurting. Right. I went to see a chiropractor, and the chiropractor was like, because of a military injury, my hips are 1 inch offset. And I have been wondering why my right hamstring was so much tighter than the left. That 1 inch has set my body all kind of messed up. So I go in, I'm doing all my VA stuff. And one of the things that they start talking about is that your inflammation in all your joints is so high with arthritis from all the stuff you was doing of beating your body in the military and all that and playing sports, that you really got to control your diet if you want this inflammation to go down. The water's great, but you got to cut out that dairy. You got to reduce your meat intake. And I was like, oh, but I started doing that, and my body started feeling a lot better. I was able to move, run, and jump. It's still, this right hamstring is still tighter than the left, but I'm working on it. My diet has made a huge difference in it. So that's what really clicked for me. But and that's why I'll say today that 90% vegetarian is the best thing one of the best things I ever done. Cutting out the dairy, other than that creamer in the coffee, which I forgot to get while I was at the store. God dog it. Is the only thing that's the only dairy I really have. Every blue moon I might have some ice cream. I see Bacon for Change said I haven't eaten meat for about 2 weeks now, but I don't go to the extreme of excluding dairy at this point. And you don't have to. Let me tell you this one. One of the reasons why you should exclude dairy. Now, for me, it was for arthritis issues that I was going, from all the beatings that I put on my body, and the fact that I torn all the ligaments in one of my ankles in the military, and so my body's offset, so different pressures, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, bacteria and virus, I keep my body alkaline. This is why I don't get sick. But then I realized when I consume all that dairy, the bacteria and the virus can hold up in the mucus of your joints until they have an opportunity. Until you have that 1 day, 1 week that you're acidic, and then they burst out on you, and now then you get sick, and you're like, dang, I stay alkaline, why am I getting sick? It's because they've been hiding, been waiting, sitting in the mucus. But if you kill the mucus, it has nowhere to hide. Yep, there's propaganda in all those videos. Of course there's propaganda in them. But there's still a lot of truth to the fact that these cows, these animals are treated so poorly, and it's devastating into their energy when they're slaughtered, and that energy travels into the cells, and that cells goes into your meat, and that meat goes into you, and that anxiety goes into you. But even more so. And so yeah, there's propaganda in it, but there's always truth in it. I just dig for truth. And what truth you find is the truth you should go by. Speaking of diet, I struggle to eat breakfast. I don't have any appetite, of course. I load of at 5 to 10, sleep and wake up at 2. Wake up at 2 a.m. Bad habit, I know, but what can I do? Eat breakfast. Plan. You right? Plan. That's what you do. Plan. I mean, it's not the nicest way to say it, but when I was a trainer, of course, I was one of those, I don't care nothing about your excuses, trainer. I don't want to hear that nonsense. Here's the thing, Linda. You just got to plan it and get up early enough, have you some breakfast, have simple, easy things you can take for breakfast. Breakfast doesn't have, even though breakfast should be the biggest meal of your day, if you don't have the opportunity at 2 o'clock in the morning, not completely hit it, then have some oatmeal, banana, and an apple ready to go. Bam. I don't even care if it's instant oatmeal. Cooked oatmeal is better, but even if it's instant oatmeal, apple, banana, handful of grapes, out the door, good to go. But something you got to put something in there. Some toast. You need something. Make sure it's not made with bleached white flour. The bread's not bleached white flour, but you gotta get it, and that gets your metabolism going. And you want your metabolism to go all day. That's why, when I was doing amateur bodybuilding, we ate 6 times a day because, you want your metabolism going all day, all day, all day. You don't want your body to store anything. You want your body to always say, okay, we can burn calories because we know that he's going to feed us. But if you're not eating breakfast, your body's saying, she ain't gonna feed us for another 6 hours, so y'all better hold on. So when we do eat, just put it into the fat storage. Just hold on to it. So you gotta eat. Um, okay, Pat said, "Do plants have feelings?" Now okay. So here's the line you have to draw. We have to eat something. Now there are some studies that have shown that plants. Oh God, I can't remember who did it. I'm trying to remember who did it, but there was this study where the guy took a flame and he burned the plant, and they measured the energetic output of the plant. I think they had it on a polygraph or something like that, but they measured it. And then they did where the guy thought about burning the plant, and the plant, and close to the plant, was looking at the plant and imagined himself burning the plant, and the plant had the same reaction to just even the thought after it had experienced the burn. I'm not going to say the plant had feelings, but the plant developed instincts and connected energy. So I don't know. There is in the Hermetics the idea of the plant mind, but the plant mind is not conscious of its own existence. Whereas a lion is conscious of its existence. It may not have as much reason and rationale as we do. A cow is conscious of its existence. It doesn't have the reasoning that we do, but it knows its existence. Plant mind, we can't necessarily say it exists, but at the same level. But we have to eat something. We have to, the circle of life. So it had to eat something. Great answer. Thank you, Lord. Are you Kanye West older brother? Yeah, I remember the first time somebody said that to me. I didn't even know who Kanye West was, but I was messing with this family reunion group. I was like, "Oh, where the barbecue at?" And the lady, this was like way long time ago, and the lady was like, "You better go on somewhere, Kanye West." And I was like, I didn't even know who that was, so I didn't get the joke. But no, plants need to get eaten in order to store seeds. They do, and plants do have to, some plants need to be eaten so that their seeds can come out, and the animals, when certain animals eat plants, the seed comes out in the drought, and the drought plants the seed somewhere else and another plant grows. But also, if you don't control the growth of plants, then the plants will take over. So it's all a balance in nature, balance in the creation. I'm aware of planting. I drink green goodness, because you are a goddess, Linda. Green goodness vegan drink, and drink premium protein drinks. Are liquids okay? Long term, no, they're not okay. Long term, they're good. Short term things, like in a pinch, something you can do, knock it out. But there's a wholeness that's missing from you being able to, like, apple juice concentrate or eating an apple. Eating an apple is better, right? With concentrate, you're not getting the vitamins and nutrients that's in the skin, right? So eat the apple, not the concentrate. Eat the apple, not the puree. So liquids are good in a pinch, but not long term. You need to add. You got to have whole foods with you. Can you speak of the importance of drinking water as well as water is vital? Now, I got a thing about water though. Okay, so first, just give me the basics. The basics on water. You're welcome, Linda. Whatever you weigh, divide that by 2. So half of what you weigh, that's how many ounces of water you need to drink. Got it? Whatever you weigh, divided by 2, that's how many ounces of water you should drink every day. Now, water keeps your body base. Water is a base, so your body will stay away from being alkaline. It won't be acidic. If your body's base, virus and disease can't grow inside your body. All right. This is one of the ways you cure your body of illnesses, is by making sure that your body stays alkaline, around 7.2, 7.4, 7.6, around in that range. You don't want to be like 9 alkaline. You want to be around in that 7 to 7 to 5, 7 6 range. So that's it. Now, is all water good? And you don't need to drink alkaline water if you're already eating fruits and vegetables and all that stuff. Is all water good? No, it's not. I refuse I will not drink water until I can get some purified water that has been purified through reverse osmosis. I'm not drinking natural water. Well, I don't like the way spring water tastes. Spring water tastes gross to me. And I know there are several videos showing people in other countries and they're just pouring the bottled water into a tap. You know, they got a tap and they're pouring it into a bottle and all that kind of stuff. It's get to a point where you got to trust something. But I do my best to investigate the company and make sure that what I'm drinking is not it's purified water through reverse osmosis, because I don't put fluoride in my body if I can help it. And all the water that comes out of your tap has fluoride. Even when I shower, I try to make sure that the water doesn't get into my mouth because I don't want fluoride in my system. I hate that I have to let it get on my skin, but fluoride calcifies your pineal gland. And I need my pineal gland to be fully decalcified so that I can continue to have my visions and have my dreams and I can have my introspective looks at things. I can see beyond the veil. So I need my third eye open. So that calcified pineal, your third eye will be closed. You can do all the meditating you want, the cephalagio tones and binaural beats that you want. If that pineal is calcified because you've been drinking all this tap water and making your tea with tap water and your coffee with tap water, and you know, sorry. So, but for health wise, drink half your body in half your body weight in water, and it also help flush your system and help your colonic system to be in a better situation as well. Oh, okay, I'm going a little too fast. Let me catch up now. I drink hot green tea concoction and spices in the morning. To use the bathroom first and make room for breakfast. Yeah, I have a friend of mine. She is like deep into that. And I was over her house one time. She made some stuff, man. That stuff was so hot, and not like hot heat, but it had like the turmeric and the cumin and ginger and all that stuff in it. Man, that stuff was so spicy. I almost died. But if you can drink that stuff, that's good. That's good for your system. That's good for your body. It helps, clean, keep your system clean, smooth runnings. Um, what would you do if you caught your best friend secretly playing with kids' dolls? Wow. Is it like action figures or something? Like, is he part of like Dragon Con and Momo Con? Is he like one of those kind of people who's into comic books? But if he's just playing with dolls, with kids' dolls, I might want to keep him away from my kids. Personally, keep him away from the kids, because even though I don't like the term normal behavior, there are certain behaviors that do lead to actions that can be harmful to other people. So I would keep an eye on them, see what kind of thing they talk about, what kind of things they do, but I definitely wouldn't leave my kids around them. I hear purified water is just clean tap water, and some of it is, but that's why I said through reverse osmosis. I look for that reverse osmosis on the bottle, because what the reverse osmosis is doing is clearing away the if it is from tap water, it's clearing away many of those minerals and things that they put into the water, and especially the fluoride. And that purified water can cause kidney stones. Here's the thing: people are still trying to figure that out as far as what causes kidney stone or not. I mean, you have too much calcium in your diet, and you can get kidney stones. And that's funny. Me and Lady Shay was just talking about kidney stones the other day. I have people who said that they rather give birth. Like, women tell me they rather given birth than have kidney stones. And I watched one of my Marines pass a kidney stone. Woo! I did not feel. Ooh, that was a painful experience for me to watch it. Much less him. But the jury's still out on that. What I would say is try to eat as clean as possible. Try, eat green fruits and vegetables, and eat dark colored fruits and vegetables. Minimize your meat intake. The water part is the most difficult because we're slaves to our environment. If your property is on a well, then you be awesome. Then you can drink well water. If you can stomach spring water, I can't take spring water. Is disgusting to me. It has that thick film thing to it, and I just can't do it. It just drives me insane. Has anyone seen Ellie? Yeah, don't know what you're talking about, but if you're trying to get people to go to a porn site or something, we're gonna get rid of you if I can figure that part out too. Barbies. Yeah, no, a grown man playing with Barbies, no, sorry. And it's not because if he wanted to play with Barbies and he just doing it in his own house, but I'm not letting you around children because that's no that those are the kind of behaviors that lead to pedophilia. And I'm just like I said earlier, do what thou wilt as long as you're not hurting someone else. I joined the YMCA because of the arthritis in my knees. I take it to the pool therapy. I'm trying to build up my calf sizes. What can I do on land as a starting exercise to build up your legs with arthritis? Okay, Linda, wear heels. Heels, actually, women who wear heels all the time, they always have great calves because their calf muscle is developing, has to develop. If you can wear heels, wear heels on the daily, all as much as often. That's going to help you build up both your legs just in your regular activity. Other than that, do squats, lightweight. If you can't put it on your shoulder, hold some dumbbells here, or hold them down by you, and learn how to do squat. But do the squat properly. You know, making sure your feet stays flat. The pressure sits back from the middle of your foot back towards your heel, and you stick your butt out like you're sitting in a chair. So do the squats properly. But squats are always going to be the best thing. I mean, you can do variations of squats. You can do sumo squats. You can do leg presses. You get on the sled where you're sitting back and you're pushing up. Your legs are pushing up. But squats and leg presses. And then, you know, you can do the things to work your inner thigh and your outer thigh as well on different exercises. What can I do to change my son's attitude towards food? My goal is to be an acclimated. How old is your son? And I'll tell you as soon as you tell me how old your son is. Have I tried shunjite water? Nope. Actually, it's the first time I ever heard of it, but I'll look it up. That's interesting. I was looking to see what that is. I've never heard of that before. So, do you brush your teeth with bottled water? Mm-hmm. Yep. And I use a non-fluoride toothpaste. Tom's used to be all of Tom's toothpaste used to be non-fluoride, but now they got some fluoride, some not fluoride. But I use that. I love mushrooms as well. Mushrooms are good. What kind of shrooms you using? Huh? Smooth? What kind of shrooms you love? I've never had one of those. Mushrooms are. I'm learning to like mushrooms, learning a little bit at a time because they have a funny texture. Texture means a lot to me when I eat something. Yeah, I had a good friend who passed a stone. It sure is. Too much kale and spinach give you kidney stone. Exactly. See, here's the thing. Too much of anything is a bad thing. I used to eat oranges like they were going out of style. And then when I had a house in Florida, I had 2 orange trees. I got 2 orange trees. I got a grapefruit tree in my backyard. I'm eating oranges like it's going out of style when I lived in Florida. Do you know I almost got vitamin C poisoning eating all that stuff? So too much of anything is bad. My wife watches these YouTube videos about a pastor, main TV, that alleges cures for people of diseases by touching them and praying. Have you heard of this? I've heard of people claiming that, and then if you don't get healed, they'll say something like, well, you didn't have faith enough. Do I believe that we can use our own personal energy and draw in energy to be able to heal people? I watched this Thai master use his chi energy to do that on another video. I watched these people do that with the way they reduced this lady's tumor, or actually got rid of this lady's tumor. Do I believe it's possible? Yes. Do I believe all these people who are claiming they have the ability to heal, that they actually do? Hell no. I believe that it takes a person who's at the ascended master level, or even, let me grab this thing real quick. I was thinking about a couple weeks ago about how there are levels of understanding in everything that we do. And what it is that I believe that very few people reach a certain level, just like in finances. Right? I'm gonna show you guys this, but I'm gonna do a real sheet. But this is something, I'm always writing and thinking, right? Always writing and thinking. But I believe like 5% of the people are invisible. I'm gonna put this down so I can actually look at it. But 5% of the people are invisible. 55% of the people are slaves to society in whatever category we're talking about, because I got 5 major categories I'm talking about here. 10 people are at the servant level. 15% of the people are adept at things, but only 9% are masters, 5% are gurus, and only 1% are ascended masters. When it comes to being able to utilize your energy to affect and heal other people, to especially something like healing other people, manifesting things on the physical plane, I believe that maybe a portion of the 5% gurus have that ability, but only 1% of the ascended masters actually have that ability. So all these people are like, oh, I'm blessed with the power of healing. Just because you did something a couple times, somebody felt better, doesn't mean you blessed with the power of healing. There's so many cause and effect things that could be going on, and you don't even know your own energy. So if you ain't got control of your own energy, how can you affect the energetic proportions going on in somebody else? That's why those people who, when they show the video of them healing that woman in China and that tumor going away, those people had to get themselves ready for like a month or two before they was able to do that. So it's not something that you just wake up in the morning. I'm gonna go and heal this person. I'm gonna go heal that person. It takes a lot. It's a lot more to it than just that. And that's just my opinion. But it's also my opinion based on what I've been researching and what's been going on. Okay. How can a person that disabled in the leg get in shape, coach? Well, now if you're disabled in your leg, then you definitely got to watch your diet. But how many times have you seen people who are paralyzed in wheelchairs and they're in the gym and their upper body, the portion of their body that they can work, it works. So work what you can work. And for the disabled leg, maybe you're leg pressing, you know, 200 pounds on your right leg, and you can only do 100 pounds on your left leg. Do the work. Do the work that part can do, but just do the work. The video that's I recorded earlier that's going to come out is called Hard. I don't know if it's called Hard, but one of the things I talked about Hard as an acronym. Heavy actions repeated daily, and if you do the heavy actions that's repeated daily, then you get easy. Every aspiration simply yielded. So I don't care about your one leg not being able to do it. Get out there and do it anyway. And do what your one leg can do, and then do what the other leg can do. And then eat right. Okay, sorry. Go back to my wolf beast mode video that I did the other day. All right, I'm getting so far behind. I don't know what. I'm losing what some people are saying. I know somebody was supposed to tell me how old their kid is. I think it's coming up. So, coach, according to your experience, what are some good careers we can suggest to our young people that do not require a degree and no student loan or debt? That's a good one. Truck driving is one. Truck drivers make very good pay, and I have two sisters who are truck drivers. Matter of fact, I got about 10 people in my family who are truck drivers. But one of my sisters, after she turned 50, she decided she wanted to be a truck driver. She went and got a CDL. She started driving trucks. She drove, bought her own truck. Now she's bought a second truck. And she's never been to college in her life, and she doesn't have student debt, right? But she started her own business driving trucks. I know we always like to point people towards music and things like that. And yeah, but it's so few people who can get involved in that. But other things, that you can get IT work. You don't have to have a degree to get involved in IT. If you can study and you can self-study your way into taking the certification, then you just be willing to start at the bottom, do the hard work. You know, start as a system analyst and make your way up. You know, take the project management certifications. If you're in construction, oh no, there was a guy, the embargo, working the heavy cranes, any kind of heavy equipment work is a good career field to go into. There are tons of fields like that you can get involved in. Welding is a good career field you can get into. I'm just going off the top of my head without taking time to actually think about this, because then I'll have to be like sit here quietly for a few minutes to think about it. But there are tons of fields, and I know Lady Shay is over there, and she did, so I know she thought of something, but she just don't want to say it right now. Now she really ain't gonna say it because I called her out like that. Okay, so, but there are different fields like that. What do I think of atheism? As long as a person is a good citizen, they can believe what they want to believe. If they don't believe that there's a higher consciousness out there, that's their right to believe so. I disagree with whether or not there's a higher consciousness out there. I believe that there is. If they don't, they don't. But do I think that they're going to go and burn in some kind of hell? No, I don't. I don't think so at all. I think they will get whatever their consciousness is telling them that they're going to get when they leave this existence. Okay, so Short is Sweet asked a question earlier about how they want to change their kids. She wants to change her kids' diet and how they eat, right? He's 8, turning 9. He's slightly overweight, addicted to sugar. As a single mom, I can't be with him 24/7, and my family isn't hearing me when I say no. You know I was in the Marine Corps, right? And I was raised by my grandfather, Eddie J. Ross. Y'all don't know who he is, but I'm just saying. First thing is I would tell my family, that's not your child. This is my child. If you continue to feed my child this junk, You will not see my child. Plain and simple. That's the first thing, because I actually had to do something similar to a few members of my family about my daughter when she was first born. That if they didn't change certain aspects, hell, let me just put it plain. If they were still doing drugs, you're not going to see my child. She will not be a part of your life. Plain and simple. And I upheld that for like 3 years. And that's the other part. Whatever you do, you have to be willing to hold it for 3 years. Hard, heavy action repeated daily. You have to do it. That's the first thing. You got to get them squared away. Now, if they're participating in watching your son and that sort of thing, it makes it a little bit more difficult. Now, you have to train your child. My children were so well trained that they knew they couldn't watch Shrek 2 when they was little. They was at a birthday party, Shrek 2 came on, my child was like, I got to go home. Stop putting any kind of sugar things in your house. Break his habit. It's going to take some time. He's going to whine. He's going to complain. He might cry. He may pitch fits. But so what? You're the freaking parent. So don't let that little joker rule your house. If you don't buy it, it's not in the house. And he's only 8, 9 years old. It ain't like he got a job and he going to the store and buying his stuff himself. If he is going to the store, don't let him buy it. If he brings it home, throw it all away. Throw it all away. If he goes to your mom, dad, cousin, uncle, sister house and he's coming back home with this stuff, throw it away. As soon as it walks, throw it away. Break his habit. And if you got to break him to break his habit, then break his little butt. Because you're doing it for his betterment, but you're also doing it for your own self. Because here's the thing. Do you want to have a 14-year-old kid that you're buying diabetes medicine for? All right, that's going to hurt your finances even more. Now you got this kid who you got to put on medicines. You got to have extra doctor visits. Now, you got to buy him bigger clothes. I was buying some shirts for my store, and I was just mad because even though I didn't need to buy the double XLs and the triple XL, I was like, why do they cost more money? I just didn't like the fact that they cost more money. I wasn't buying them, but they cost more. It just bothered me just to see it. So, break. You got to break your family, break yourself, break them, and then you got to do it every day. Every day, every day. You got to be on it. It's like a job. Exactly. As a parent, it is a job. You got to do it every daggone day. And they're going to be waiting for you to slip. He's going to be waiting for you to slip. He's going to be like, she's doing it now, but I know she's going to break. She's going to break. And if I just wait for her to break, and I'm going to slide a little bit in here and slide a little. You got to make getting sugar a treat. Like when I was a kid, my mom worked 2.5 jobs to take care of 3 kids. McDonald's was a treat. Boy, when that Friday came that we was going to get McDonald's, that was a treat. We was excited because we didn't get it no other time during the week and sometimes for the next 2 weeks. So when we got it, we was excited. So make getting the sweets a treat. Okay. Linda, oh, thank you, Linda. Appreciate that. That will be, like I said, these donations are going to be moving over into the Temple of Learning that we're going to start building here in Atlanta and in other places. And it's also going to be supported by my popcorn shop is going to support the Temple of Learning as well. You're welcome. Okay, I got to catch up, y'all. Yeah, but sometime soon, truck driving will probably be automated. Truck driving will be automated, right? So mechanics. Somebody got to fix it. Somebody got to fix the truck. Somebody got to fix the planes. Somebody has to do that kind of work. As new technology comes, there's always there's always levels of that career that needs a degree, and there's always levels of that career that doesn't need a degree. In every level, people gonna get paid good money depending upon what level you want to excel. How much money you require for your life. If $60,000 is enough, then you can be a mechanic for these automated trucks that are coming out. But the people who are probably working on the tech system for those trucks and the require a degree for those. So you have to be willing to move with the time. All right. You can't get mad that somebody invented a copy machine and all of a sudden we don't need typists anymore. Or get mad somebody created a computer and we don't need the secretaries as much. How they used to have a bank of secretaries and typists. So technology changed. We got to move with it. A lot of people are lucky that solar roadways, that the LED lights suck up more energy than the solar roadways are able to capture. Because if they fix that, it'll be a revolution of people being able to get jobs putting down solar roadways. But all those guys who work road construction, they're going to lose their job. So we just got to move with technology. Really about calcified glands. Can it be reversed, and how, if you don't mind? Well, to decalcify your pineal gland, it's going to come in a couple of different ways. One, you got to just stop eating stuff with fluoride and high mineral concentrated things like calcium and that sort of thing. So stop eating that. That'll help. That'll stop the calcification. Then you got to drink a ton of water to help get your body, to loosen everything up. Then you also need to meditate. You'll be surprised, but I know it seems like hokey or esoteric, but meditation actually changes your frequencies, changes your energies, and it changes it on your, say, let's just use the term, the astral plane, which then is manifested on the physical. It will take time. And then you got to start using it. That's the other part of meditation. You're using your pineal gland. The more you use it, the more it's kind of like, I'm a comic book guy, so it kind of like hulks out, right? Because the more you use your pineal gland, it starts to slowly grow. And even those micro grows, expand. And just like if something is frosted, like let's say you frosted the batter before you put it in the oven. As the cake grows, the frosting is going to break, right? So it'll break. So as the pineal gland, those micro grows, it'll start breaking it. It'll take some time though. Don't think this ain't nothing that hard, heavy actions repeated daily. It's not something that's gonna happen overnight. It's gonna take some time. I don't believe in physical punishment. So what do you mean by physical punishment? Because I may not beat a child, but I make that joker stay in a squat position and threaten to beat that child all day long. These kids that are growing up in a technological world different than we did. I'll take their phone. When we was a kid, it was go to your room. That was punishment. When I was a kid, because you wanted to be outside, you wanted to watch TV, you wanted to do this. Take everything away. Had that joker laying, sitting in the living room, doing nothing. Make him go outside and do work. Do things. Find some other people who got work that, hey, you need somebody to clean the baseboards at your house? I have a son who's acting foolish. Here's some baseboards, boy, get the cleaning. My grandfather and my mother, if we acted too crazy, because my mom she didn't whoop us. Now, my grandfather, different story. But my mother, she would I have cut the grass of a whole neighborhood for free plenty of times in my hard-headed life. So there are so many other ways to punish your child, to get them to that understanding. Talking to them, it ain't gonna really work all the time. You talk, you punish, uplift the child, and then keep going. Read the book. There's a book called The 1 Minute Manager. That's how I use that to raise my children, and I use that to talk to people. You criticize the action, uplift the person, criticize the action, then reestablish the person. But because they're children, they need some physical uncomfortable, something uncomfortable and physical for them to do. They could make them keep cleaning house. My grandmother, I got in trouble one time, and not my grandmother. My grandfather made us take all the furniture out of the house, clean it. He made us do a spring cleaning in the wintertime. It was cold, but we had to take everything out, clean everything, and put everything back in the house. And then one time, he just made us move everything around the house and then put it all back. Just to, it's a lot. You just got to be creative. Open that pineal gland. That thing make me think about new driverless cars as well. Driverless cars is already here, man. They come in new driverless cabs. Uber is actually looking at having driverless cars, driverless Uber soon, right? So it's coming. I just moved to Atlanta 6 months ago. Where is your store located? I will visit. Well, we should be opening this upcoming week, and it's South DeKalb Mall. So just put in South, not North, South DeKalb Mall. It's on Candler Road, and we should be open probably by Thursday. But I'll announce it on my Facebook and YouTube when I do open. And welcome to Atlanta. Even though we're full, welcome to Atlanta. I ain't see your application at the border, but welcome. Well, I think I heard that yesterday. Mine was blown about the Bible is coded meditation practices all through it. It is. There are a lot of coded meditations throughout the Bible that you can find. Trying to think of some of them right off the top of my head. And it's like I'm drawing a blank because I'm thinking about what everybody else is talking about. Oh my goodness. Like when the story about Yeshua taking out, people say he took out 7 demons out the woman, but it said when you break those words down, it means that he stirred 7 energy portals of the woman. This is supposed to be, some people say, Magdalene, but he's talking about moving her energy, right? Um, but a lot of the Psalms are meditational prayers, but it's not for going outward. It's not for the outer God, but the inner God. In Psalms, Proverbs, the thought process is behind Proverbs. It's the same thing. The love poem of Solomon, of the book of Solomon, with Solomon and Sheba, is a heart and sacral meditation. What's the name of the book? That book is The 1 Minute Manager. I think the Blanchard is one of the guys who wrote it, but 1 Minute Manager. I read that book. Well, actually, I was forced to read it. I was in the Marine Corps. It was one of our leadership training books to read. I read that book, and I was like, bam, that's how I'm going to raise my kids. And it works. It works great. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe in corporal punishment. So from like 6 months, I would stop being greedy. But them jokers, they except for my middle daughter probably only got a spanking 5 or 6 times in her entire life, because she was smart enough to see what the older girl was doing and say, I'm not doing that. But that boy and that oldest one, I almost hurt. I actually did. I actually hurt my back one time trying to chase them jokers down. But yeah, I believe in corporal punishment, but I also believe in making sure that they get a mental understanding of what it is. But then I also believe in physical work. Like, I will make them clean the same stuff over and over again. I mean, I'm literally like, oh, they do it, it's clean? Yeah, it is clean. Now do it again. Do it again. Why I gotta do it again? Because you don't know how to act in school. Do it again. You don't know how to respect adults. Do it again. It's hard work, and it's actually punishment on the parent when you got to punish the child, but you have to do it. There's so many times that I've had like great things planned for them little jokers, them little rat children of mine, I call my children rat kids or little raggedy cells all the time, but only when they're acting out. But I've planned things because they're great kids. I plan things for them, and it's like, man, yeah, I'm planning this. I want to give them this experience, and then one of them will do something, and I got to leave that one and set up a situation for the one got to stay, but I can go and do it with the other two. But I wanted everybody to go do it. So that has happened so many times with these jokers. Now my phone battery is getting low, and my charger is jacked up. See, this cord got a short in it, but it's more powerful than the current cord. We're going to see if we can make it work a little bit here. If this video just cuts out, guys, that's why it cut out on me. I never plugged the microphone up. But yeah, this cord, it only works when the phone is lying down. It doesn't work up here. I gotta get some new cords. I meant to do that the other day, but I forgot. So raising kids is not the easiest thing. Raising kids is a job, man. That's why I tell my little short jokers now, like, don't try to rush and have children. Get yourself ready mentally. Thanks. Not in their religion, but just like, wow, that's so much. That so much is hidden. Yeah, there's a ton of information that's hidden from us. How do you find God? I look inside myself, right? So I look at nature. I study the Hermetics. I study chakras. I studied all the religions, and I look for the hidden truth, the things that are the commonalities. I study ancient cultures. So I study all those things. But the main thing, if I truly want to find God, I try to understand me first. Try to understand you. Look for the inner God and goddess inside you. The reason why the Caduceus has the 2 serpents, because the male and female energy. So look inside yourself, study yourself, understand yourself, project that out. See what nature is doing. How does nature function? How does the universe function? As above, so below. Study the Hermetics. Get the book, The Kabbalion. Study the Hermetics. And that's a good start for studying Hermetics. And then apply everything. You have to apply. You can read all day. You can talk all day. But if you're not applying it, you're really never going to understand it. You have to apply things to understand a thing. You have to do it. I was at a seminar recently, and I love they've reminded me of a teaching thing where it talks about you have to, whatever you read, you retain 10%. Whatever you hear, you retain 20%. Whatever you, I think he said, write or talk about, you retain 70%. But whatever you do, you retain 90%. So you can do those other things, but then do it. If the books you're reading say meditate, meditate. And do it consistently. Heavy action repeated daily. Do it all the time, and you'll get there. But it's going to take time. Don't be in a rush. It's going to be irritating at times because things are not always going to work the way you want them to. One good book that I've read that I'm doing a study on my Patreon is Outwitting the Devil. It's a really good book in understanding more of who you are. More who you are. And then I read a lot of philosophies. Marcus Aurelius, Plato, Nietzsche, just tons of philosophers. Do you think waiting till you're in your early 40s is too late to have kids? No, I don't think waiting till your early 40s is too late to have kids. It's too late to have kids, as plural. Maybe one, if you've never had them. It's a little lengthy in the tooth for me. If I had it to do all over again, I probably wouldn't have had a kid until I was about 32, 33, right? Giving myself time to build my life the way I want it built, gain some maturity, and I probably would have waited till I was about 33 instead of 25 to have children, to start having kids. 40, there's a lot of medical things that you may have to deal with. That's really, the medical reasons are the only reason I say 40 is kind of long in the tooth to do it. I would have done it earlier. Other than that, if you've been living a great life previously, then you can still get into that great life. It's different when you're 40 if you got kids, if you got money. Just be honest with you. Just be honest. But it's a challenge. My aunt Jeanette had a child when she was in her 40s. She did have gestational diabetes, so she's diabetic now from that. Now she's in her 60s. Her daughter, well, she's 60 something. Her daughter's 20 something. So she'll tell you that her life. It was easier having her than raising her than when she raised her other daughter. And there's like this 20-year gap, So that was easier. But there are times that she treated her like a grandkid instead of her kid. And so there was sometimes that little child was so spoiled, I just wanted to, drop some on her. But she's turning into a good adult now. It's because she's hanging around my daughter. That's why. No, I just have the Emerald tablets been translated? If so, where did I find it? Well, the Kabbalion is a translation of the Hermetic laws of the Emerald tablets, but the whole thing of the Emerald tablets, I found, I got away from reading books 8-9 years ago when YouTube came out, and I would find the scholars and find the people who have, and I would listen to audiobooks and audio stuff about it, or listen to a anthropologist doing a seminar on it or something like that. So, and it's just been over time, and then I listened to a bunch of people, and then condensed it all to see like what are the common traits, but also what could they be misaligning as well. Because my work it's easier for me to listen than to work. But I have gotten back into reading books. That's why on Patreon we're doing this one right now. And we did the Kabbalion. I actually did it's about 9-10 videos on the Kabbalion on my Patreon. Some of those are on my regular site, regular page, regular YouTube as well. Oh, having a child, even if you're a man. Well, even if you're a man, the physical attributes of it is not going to be the same as a woman. But as a man, having a child, you want to be the gray-haired dude up there at the graduation talking about something, oh, you brought your grandfather? That's cool. No, I'm just playing. But as a man, because one of my brother's best friend, he's like 50 years old, and he got this how does that baby is like 18 months old or something like that. I'm like, dude, seriously, you're gonna be like the grandfather up there at the graduation. I was so picking on him for a couple of months ago about that. Like I said, it's the same as for a man as far as monetarily. It's usually easier when you're older to raise your kid because you're not trying to struggle. But some of the things you may want to do, I pick on my cousin Chanel. I'm saying her name because she has, I think, her 2 kids. She waited, right? So all my youngest, all the ones who I grew up with, all of our kids are dang near out of high school, right? And some of them in college, out of college. Chanel got these little first graders and pre-K kids. You can't even go and do the grown folks trip. We don't let her go with us on the grown folks trip because she got small babies. The young little joker's not going with us. So she can't go on the grown folks trip. So I pick on her about that. So there are some limitations to having children in your 40s because all your other 40-year-old friends are going out and doing things. Your 50-year-old friends are going out and doing things. They can go on vacation on a Tuesday and you can't. You got PTA meeting. Go to PTA meeting on Tuesday while your friends are going to play on a golf trip because they're chilling now. But it's all about how you want to live your life, man, because that stuff will still be there when you're 60. All right, if you're 40, you have a kid. When you're 60, that stuff will still be there, and you may even have more money to deal with it. And so it's all on you. No, you shouldn't forget about it. Don't forget about it. It's about your life. If you want to have a child, you go right ahead and have that child in your 40s. You just take the good with the bad, but you can take the bad and make it good if you want to. It depends on your perspective. If I'm 46, if I had a child, all right, I almost fainted. If I had a child right now, I'd be so pissed at me. Mainly because I've been working so hard for the last like 10 years. I wouldn't be able to go have fun. What Eden say, that's a drawback for dating too. Yeah, it is. I'm gonna tell you right now. If I was single and I was out there and I meet a woman, she's 46, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? What's going on with you, girl? Yeah, what's up? No, I don't talk like that for real. But if I was like, hey, how you doing? What's your name? And they're like, oh, so you have kids? Oh, yeah, I have kids. I got a 22-year-old, an 18-year-old, and a 16-year-old. And she's like, oh, yeah, I got a 7-year-old or a 3-year-old or a 5-year-old. I'm like, it was so nice talking to you. Okay, good, great. We can be friends. We can just talk. We can do business together, but we're not dating. No. That little joker needs to at least be in high school. And preferably, like, they ain't about to graduate high school. Because no. So it does inhibit that. But exactly, you know what I'm talking about. But if that's what you want to do, man, right now you're 40, have a kid, have your children. Don't let nobody tell you not to. But just know that life is different. What we did in our 20s and 30s, you now got to do in 40s and 50s. That's all. That's the only difference. And you'll catch up. But guys, my battery is down to like 5%. So let's get a couple more questions, then we got to get off this thing. Plus, I got 3 more videos to make. I got to edit 1 video, and then I got some emails to send out for people. Oh, because the people who joined the credit program, my credit restoration and wealth building program, who joined this weekend, I'm sending your emails out to you in a few minutes here when I get off here. So expect to get your emails. Expect to get ready to get started on all the. You got to watch the video. You got to do the worksheet of the video. You got a bunch of other worksheets you're gonna have some other worksheets to do, and then you got some homework before we even have our first coaching session. But we're gonna get your credit scores up. So I'm about to do that when I get off this live thing. Okay, well, you're 36 now. Cool. If you're 36, that's fine. You got the woman already, or you still got to find her? You ain't got. See, Eden definitely. What's up, Eden? How you doing, girl? What's up? I'm just playing. 24. Yeah, he out the house. He ain't living at home no more. You got free reign to go where you want to go. You got free reign to go where you want to go. Do what you want to do. Huh? What's up? God, I could not be a guy who talks like that to women. That would be horrible. But I agree. 24 is too early to move out. My oldest girl is 22. She lives on her own. I kept telling her she needs to stay with her mom. Don't be going out yet. Unless, well, her situation has changed. Her situation is different now. When she tried to move out at 20, she shouldn't go. But now her situation has changed. And I talk to my daughter like almost every day. So she's getting that good fatherly advice. She doesn't make a financial decision without me. So she's doing pretty good. Oh, you meant 38? Now the maid's getting up. It depends on my son. I don't think that joker should move out till he probably about 28. But it depends on how. But he's done a lot of maturing over this last year. So let me not say that. Empty nest is best. My kids live with their mom, so I've kind of been empty, sort of like a half empty nester, because I do get my kids like half time I have my kids. Then they get 16, 17, they start having their little raggedy friends and their little jobs. They don't want to come this weekend. They don't want to come that weekend. They don't want to spend this week during the summer or that week or this holiday or that holiday. They have the little stank lives. So, it kind of like now I got to have play dates with my kids. So I'm feeling that empty. I felt that empty nester at that point, but I'm getting used to it. It is fun though, because I can go where I want to go, do what I want to do. I come home when I want to come home. I ain't worried about somebody coming in the door. It's cool, right? Yeah. But yeah, my 22-year-old, she's completely independent as well, for the most part. Every now and then she like, can I have some gas money to last me till Monday? you know, but that's not often. But guys, I'm down to 4% on my battery. So I'm going to go ahead and call this one. This was pretty cool. I liked it. For everybody who donated, I appreciate you guys tremendously. Like I said, that is going to go towards the Temple of Learning that we're getting, that me and Kevin are in talks about building here in Atlanta first. And there are some other people like in Dallas, Texas, that I'm getting them together to start. They're going to do one in Texas. So I'm putting together all the the requirements and what's going to be needed for people to start one. And you know, my company's going to support it as well. And then there are other things that it will become self-supporting as well. If you did see my credit restoration and wealth building video, if you want to join that program, go to coachrenz.com/the-store, and you can join that program. We're going to be rebuilding your credit, building your credit, but also building your wealth and getting you into financial health. It's a great program. I wasn't going to start it until like the end of the year, but I decided to go ahead and do it now. And yes, me and Kevin will be on YouTube tonight. We're going to be rebutting a video that some guy made a year ago. His video's okay, but it's okay. I think I hope he sees it. I hope he sees it. But he did an okay video. So we will be on tonight. So look forward to that. That'll be at 8 o'clock. Of course, you know, we really don't get started by 8:15. I got all that technical stuff. But, you know, Josh handling everything. But I look forward to it, you guys. Like I said, my battery is about to die, and this thing is not charging whatsoever. So y'all have a great day. Yeah, I can't wait to talk again tonight. And that's another thing. I got to save this. I got 3 more videos to make, and I got to get this ready for tonight. So remember, you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable.